the mark of a good woman or man. The mark of a good woman, the mark of a good man. Let's go to the text, Psalms 1 and 1. Psalms 1. You already know. Let me read it to you. Love this psalm. Blessed is the man who, and I add woman, who does not walk in the counsel of the wicked, or stand in the way of sinners, or sit in the seat of mockers. Three things I want to share with you. And we're going to finish reading the text. It's the text, the talk, and the takeaway. The first thing, the first mark of a good woman or good man is they watch their walk. They watch how they walk. They watch where they walk. They watch their walk. Now, the Greek word for walk is similar to talk. In other words, when you see in the New Testament, when it talks about your walk with Christ, it is literally talking about your talk, because your talk is really reflective of your walk. Who you walk with, you're going to talk with, and it will be reflective. Out of the mouth, there comes life and death. And however you spew your words is what it is that you're going to live that life. So the first thing, the first mark of a good woman and the first mark of a good man, you got to watch your walk. You got to watch your walk, because your walk is your talk, and vice versa. The second thing is they don't stand around. They don't stand around. Notice they don't stand in the way of sinners. Notice the progression of the psalmist. Walk, stand. The third thing, of course, we're going to talk about is sit, stand. Now, in Ephesians, it says, when you've done all you can do, then stand. But that is when you take a disposition or a position of strength in God. When it comes down to you leading people, using your leadership, and you know what we say in the Manna fam, that every believer is a leader. Leaders don't stand in the way of those who following them. When people see your influence, then they need to use that influence, or you need to use that influence to point them to Christ. Don't stand in the way. Don't stand in the way. And then the B portion, or I should say the A under the second point, is don't stand in the way of people who are progressing. You know, we can be some haters sometimes. We can be some shade throwers and just throwing shade on folk because they're progressing and we want to stand in the way. The mark of a good woman or a good man is that you don't stand in the way of people who are progressing. The third thing is this: don't sit in the wrong seat. Don't sit in the wrong seat. What do you mean by that? Now, I remember the days when I was clubbing back in undergrad at the University of North Carolina at Greensboro, hanging out, my wilderness experience. And where you would get your seat in the club was critical. It was absolutely critical. For one, if you were in a hole in the wall, you want to make sure that you can get next to the exit in case something went down. But other than that, you wanted to position yourself in a seat that you can see everybody that's coming in, so you can determine who you're going to make your move on. Now, I know you might not say, well, now, Bishop, are you really? Is that how you float? Yes, I did. And I'm sorry, you probably flowed a similar way as well. Well, here it is. The third thing is you just don't sit in the wrong seat. Find the right seat. What do you mean by that? Let's be practical. When you come to church, where do you sit? Do you sit so that you can receive the word? Or do you sit so that you can watch everybody else? Do you sit in a position so that my focus is on the worship, the word that's going on? Or is your seat so positioned that you're preoccupied with everybody else? So the mark of a good woman, the mark of a good man, is that you got to watch where you walk. You got to make sure you don't stand in the way of progress of others. And you make sure that your seat is seated so that you can receive what's going on in the house of God. What's your takeaway this morning? Your takeaway is verse 3 of Psalm 1. Let me read it. He is like a tree planted by streams of water, the rivers of water, which yields its fruit in season, and whose leaf does not wither. Whatever he or she does prospers. When you do those three things, what you do will prosper. The Lord be with you today. May his face shine upon you and give you peace. I'll see you tomorrow morning with more Morning Manna. Manna fam, you already know what to do. Share the manna. Don't keep it to yourself. God bless you. See you tomorrow morning with more Morning Manna. Bye now.